Okay. All right, y'all. I'm back again with the part two of the 2026 NBA season preview. Had a few technical difficulties, but I'm back. I had to reset my password on Twitch. That was a bitch. It's always a process with that. I haven't used that motherfucker in a while, so kind of forgot my password, but I'm back though. All right, we left off on the Indiana Pacers. They have to go through a season without their star player Tyrese Halliburton. Halliburton was kind of like up and down during the season, but in the playoffs he turned up and he became kind of like a superstar in those playoffs. And he played with a lot of heart up until his torn Achilles, unfortunately. Uh, so he won't be playing. I believe that Matherin will probably replace him in the starting lineup. They lost Miles Turner in the off season to Milwaukee. They gained Jay Huff at 5, and they still have Tony Bradley. So, I mean, I like Huff. From what I've seen, he can attack the basket. He has that same reverse dunk every time. If you see his highlights, gets to take it out to the perimeter and shoot the three. He kind of got a poor man's Miles Turner in return. Isaiah Jackson's a good backup center as well, so they're definitely gonna miss him. I mean, you still got Neesmith, still Shepard. He could have a bigger role next year. Then Pascal Siakam was an All-Star last year, so he's gonna definitely average a cool 23, 24 points next year. TJ McCollum's still there. So let me see what I had for their record. I had Indiana going 42 and 40, even without Halliburton. Even without Tyrese, I think that the Pacers will still be a decent team and a respectful team. Despite Indiana not doing much in free agency and making any trades. They're going to miss Turner's rim protection. I feel like Indiana is vulnerable on the interior. So they have to probably get like a better shot blocking center. I think that should be on the list. But I still think Indiana is going to be really, really good. Los Angeles Clippers, this is another team that's just like Cleveland. This is a team like if they don't win, it's time to break up the team. Clippers are still going to be a great regular season team. But however, once them playoffs start, we'll see what they're truly made of and see if they actually can all be healthy at the same time. Because I have a feeling I'm not sure if that's going to happen. We got to see Kawhi Leonard for an entire playoff series for the first time. I believe they got eliminated in 6 by the Nuggets, which was shocking to me because I thought that series was going to go 7 for sure. Those two teams were completely evenly matched. So that shocked the fuck out of me. However, this team is still pretty stacked. I mean, you add Chris Paul back. I know he's about 88 years old. Yeah, Brooke Lopez. I know he's 88 years old too. Yeah, Bradley Beal. I know he's 88 years old too. So you got a lot of veteran players. I mean, James Harden, I know he's about 68 years old. But you still keep Ivica Zubac. The only thing that oh yeah, you add John Collins too. I mean, this is a pretty damn good rotation if you think about it. Batum's back, Bogdanovich is back. On paper, this team is stacked. If this team would have got together 5 years ago, they would have dominated the league. But of course, with Bradley Beal, injuries, injuries, injuries. So, you still kind of got insurance for Bradley Beal just in case he gets hurt. But I like the Collins addition. I think that was the best addition because it's an underrated pickup. You could run so many starting lineups with this group. Because honestly, I don't know what the starting lineup could be. I mean, are y'all going to do Chris Paul, Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Collins, and Zubac and run everybody else off the bench? I mean, I like the Clippers' depth, but it comes down to Kawhi Leonard's health. That's all that it comes down to. I didn't know they had Patty Mills. Chris Dunn's still there. This is easily a great 12-man rotation. And then as far as the Clippers' wins and losses, I had the Clippers winning 48 games, being a 5 seed in the Western Conference. The Los Angeles Lakers, I don't think too highly of them, even with Luka Doncic. Why? Depth. The Lakers lack depth. They don't have a reliable six. They don't have a 6 man. They got a bunch of guys. When LeBron and Luka Doncic come out the game, they're gonna get bum rushed. They're gonna get blitzed because nobody on their bench can defend. You lose Dorian Finney-Smith. That was a terrible L. That's a bad loss, in my opinion. So, and then, okay, you fulfill your need at center with DeAndre Ayton, but he's got a lot of issues in his brain. Like he's got a lot of mental issues, man. Something wrong with that dude. That's just my opinion. You add Marcus Smart. I think he's gonna be the 6 man. But Marcus Smart, he's about 68 years old. LeBron James, he's about 68 years old. Austin Reeves, I think he's gonna raise his game another ceiling next year. Dalton Connect. I had talked about Dalton Connect being involved in a possible acquiring of Andrew Wiggins. I'm not saying that Andrew Wiggins wouldn't help the Lakers, but Andrew Wiggins' problem is regular season, he's fine. In the playoffs, you never know what you're going to get. You only got Andrew Wiggins consistent for one entire year of his entire career. The one time he was consistent, he did win a title. But however, there's no rim protection. DeAndre Ayton is not a good rim protector. And his character is a question. We all know Bronny stinks. Jackson Hayes was inconsistent last year. Jake LaRavia is a good pickup, though. I think he's going to be an underrated addition to that team. Gabe Vincent, is allergic to offense. But, I picked the Lakers to win 42 games next year. I think they're going to go through a slump in the season. I don't know when, but it's going to happen, especially with the Western Conference around them being much improved. I don't know. I think this Lakers team, even with Luka and LeBron, are a playing team. Next up, we got the Memphis Grizzlies. Oh boy. Memphis Grizzlies are on a downward spiral, in my opinion. They're on a downward spiral. This is a team that had championship aspirations. I mentioned this in my John Morant to the Bulls rumor video that Memphis has had multiple times to try to get at least to the Western Conference Finals, and they have never made it there. You had a complete team too. Then you lose Desmond Bane, which is, you swap out Bane for Caldwell Pope, who is a two-time NBA champion. So from a technical standpoint, it's an upgrade as far as championship experience. It's not an upgrade as far as like talent. Caldwell Pope, had 1 year with the Magic and he was horrible. But maybe he could bounce back because he's excuse me, overpaid for sure. But he's gonna help Memphis. I like Zach Edey to take another level up. I think Jaren Jackson Jr. I think he's going to be good. Ja's going to be good. Scottie Pippen Jr. is going to be good. But then you got a question. Will Ja Morant stay a member of the Memphis Grizzlies? Because Memphis is looking at it like this. You a liability. You injury prone. Can't keep the guns down. This is a what have you done for me lately league. So are they going to swap out Ja for some assets and start this bitch over? But as far as what I had the Grizzlies record, I had the Grizzlies winning 38 games, missing the playoffs. Regardless of how, competitive the West is, I think that the Grizzlies miss the playoffs next year. They're not the same without Bane. Bane is a guy that can get you 20 a night and defend the other team's best player. It's not too many of those type of caliber players that are around. Next up, we got the Miami Heat. I don't think they're going to do shit. I'm going to just keep it a bean. They might be a play-in team once again and lose in the play-in. They're going to lose this time. They're not going to come out the play-in. Jimmy Butler won't be there to save them. However, I like Bam and Tyler, but they don't have a star player that can elevate them. They have to elevate each other. Pause. That was wild. That was wild. But, I like Kel'el Ware. I like Davion Mitchell. This team got a lot of grit. Jaime Jaquez Jr. But this team is just a pack of men. I don't expect much from them at all. I gave the Miami Heat 36 wins, and them being the 12th seed in the East, I don't see them making the playoffs. I just don't. Next, we got the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee Bucks are at a crossroads. They ended up waiving Damian Lillard, which was shocking but understandable. And shout out to Damian Lillard, man. That dude got paid. Dame is my favorite player in the game, bro. And it sucked to see him tear his Achilles back-to-back seasons. And he won't play in 2020, 25, 2026 season. But however, now we got competition at the point guard position for the Bucks and Kevin Porter Jr., Cole Anthony, Ryan Rollins. I think Milwaukee's going to make another trade. You need a legit number 2 playing with Giannis. Miles Turner can't be Giannis Antetokounmpo's Scottie Pippen. He used to have a Scottie Pippen, and that was Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton is missed. It's going to be missed because now you got Kyle Kuzma, Mr. Bricklayer, Mr. Shot Jacker. This nigga done built many boarding schools with his bricks. That nigga need a boarding school in his name. Kyle Kuzma, I think that's why I made that video about Tyler Hero to the Bucks, because I think I'm not saying that Tyler Hero could take that team to the championship. I'm saying that Tyler Hero will be a piece that could score 20 points alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo and play off each other. My boy Thanos, the Thanasis Antetokounmpo is back. Extra head coach, motivator, and the Sham God specialist, and NBA champion and Greek champion in Greece. He's back. Maybe that'll motivate Giannis a little bit more. I see this Bucks team as this is going to be Giannis' show. This could be the season where Giannis could very well be averaging close to a triple-double. I could see it. I could see him averaging like 31, 12, and 8. I could see that kind of a season for him because there's not a traditional point guard on this team. You got a bunch of point guards that shoot the ball. And I think that Giannis will be the distributor of this team. You still got Portis, and Miles Turner will make an impact. Now Giannis doesn't have to protect the rim as much. Now you got a rim protector in Turner, and I think Turner numbers is going to be better. But Turner needs to rebound. You got 7'1". 6'11", 7 feet, averaging like 7 rebounds. That's whack to me. Any center that's averaging under 9 rebounds is whack. That's just my opinion. But I like Turner defending the interior. I like him as a shot blocker for them. I mean, I like Gary Trent. Gary Trent is another guy that is like Vinnie Johnson. Or like a Bobby Jackson. Guy that could just score when need be. He had 30-point playoff game last year. But, the Milwaukee Bucks, I have their record. I have them going 43-39, being the 6th seed. I still think Giannis is going to be good enough to at least get them to the playoffs, even without the services of Dame. Minnesota Timberwolves, I expect nothing less but damn near perfection from a team that has been to back-to-back Western Conference Finals. Even without Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I still think this team is going to be good. I think that's the reason why they brought back Bones Highland. But I think Dante DiVincenzo, his numbers are going to be up. He's going to do a lot of the things that Nikhil Alexander Walker was doing. I mean, Ant-Man is going to be Ant-Man. Julius Randle is going to be Julius Randle. Rudy Gobert is going to be the inconsistent offensive player, but the reliable, consistent rim protector. The shot blocker, I should say. They didn't make many additions either. Sorry about that. Joan Berenger was a great pickup. I think he's going to end up replacing Rudy Gobert. I don't see Rudy Gobert staying a Timberwolf the whole season. I say he gets traded either. I say he gets traded at the deadline. That's my prediction. Jaden McDaniels is definitely going to have a bomb ass season. Then Naz Reid just got paid. And of course, with things he had going on in this offseason that I'm not going to bring up because I'm not Malika Andrews. But, I think the adversity that he went through this offseason, I think it's going to translate into his game. I think he's going to play really well. Present thoughts go to Naz Reid and his family, though. But Rocco Zikarsky, I think those two backup centers that they drafted, I think they're going to be both of those guys are shot blockers. So I have the Minnesota Timberwolves winning 50 games and being a 4 seed in the West. The New Orleans Pelicans are going to be much improved. They added Jordan Poole. I think a change of scenery is going to help Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole was in a pool of shit of sanitation in Washington. I thought Jordan Poole was going to run his numbers up in Washington. Turns out he was a complete mid-pack. And now he has a chance to reinvent himself in New Orleans, replacing CJ McCollum, who was one of the locker room leaders in New Orleans. And that, because the New Orleans Pelicans, I felt like they were a playoff contender. And they were always getting hurt, from Zion to Brandon Ingram. And now that Ingram is gone, I think Trey Murphy is going to step up in Ingram's place. And that was the end goal anyway for New Orleans, for Trey Murphy to be that guy for that team. The additions of Saddiq Bey, who's coming off of an ACL injury. Drafting a Jeremiah Fears. Jeremiah Fears got game. And he's going to help them. I wouldn't be surprised if he was the starter. Because, of course, DeJounte Murray tore his Achilles. So I don't think he plays the first, I don't know. I don't think he plays the first 20 games. But yeah, man, I think Murray's going to miss some time. For sure. But adding Kevon Looney That was a need fulfilled to back up Eves Messi, who I think is a pretty good player. I think that Messi's going to come off the bench. I think Looney's going to be the starter. Herb Jones. This team is really, really good. Zion's got a good team around him. This team is built to cater to Zion's game. But again, man, I don't know if he plays more than 45 games. I'm going to guess that he plays 48 to 50 games, around in that range. I never expect this guy to play 82 games. There's always something wrong with him, and it always has something to do with his weight. He's in the worst city. You gotta understand something. New Orleans has top-notch food, and about 70 to 80% of that shit is not good for you, especially if you are a basketball player. But I like this little team in New Orleans. I gave the New Orleans Pelicans 37 games. I say they missed the playoffs. They just, in general, the Western Conference is just way too tough, in my opinion. Next, you got the New York Knicks. New York Knicks, I think, is a team that has a chance to win the East for the next 2 or 3 seasons. I think they're that good. Last year, they proved that in the Eastern Conference Finals, that they are a force to be reckoned with. And then now, another year without Boston being there, because they beat Boston, they upset Boston. I mean, I think this was after Tatum's injury, of course, but that lineup in New York is dope. I like Brunson. I like Bridges and Anunoby and Carl Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson. I like that lineup. I like when they replaced Robinson with Hart. Like, this is a really good team. And then their depth got so much better. I believe they added Malcolm Brogdon and Jordan Clarkson. Those are two guys that are going to be lethal off that New York bench. And then with Deuce McBride, you know what I'm saying? Landry Shamit's back. They added Gershon Yabusele, Tyler Kolek. He's good. He's a good player. New York could do a lot of damage in the East. They are a threat to win the East. I feel more confident in the Knicks winning the East more than I feel for the Cavaliers. Like, I got New York winning 54 games, if healthy. Even though I can't stand the motherfucking Knicks, being a Pistons fan, if you know, you know. They're the ops. They eliminated my team last year, so just to let you know. Now you got the Oklahoma City Thunder, the defending champs. I never bet against the defending champs. This is a team that pretty much kept their roster the same. They lost their top first round pick for the entire season. He tore his ACL. But basically, they're reing up with the same team, and everybody is building their roster to beat that roster. You got 3 guys who are the core and future all-stars in Chet Holmgren. I mean, Jalen Williams was an all-star last year, but I'm just saying, like, Williams is going to be an all-star for years to come. I mean, he convinced me. He had a 40-point game in the finals. Like, he showed up. Even when Shea had an off game, like, Jalen Williams was there. Then Chet Holmgren pretty much finished the job. You know what I'm saying? And, of course, Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, Isaiah Hartenstein. Then we get to catch a glimpse of Nikola Topic, who I claim that also had Josh Giddey potential. He would be the Josh Giddey replacement. So you got another guy that's like 6'6", that's a point guard, kind of similar to Jaeger Jenner from the Brooklyn Nets. So this Thunder team, they're going to be the top team in the West once again. And I got them going winning 62 games. Orlando Magic, I think this is the team that make that crazy improvement, major improvement. You understand me? Magic adding Desmond Bain. I know they took about 5 picks to make that shit happen, but the Magic are scary. You got 4 guys that can create their own offense, that can create offense for their teammates, that could score, that could defend. Like Suggs, Bain, Banchero, and Franz Wagner. Those are all dangerous players because they could create off the dribble, they could create their own shot, and they're dangerous. And they could distribute. So you got 4 dangerous players out there. Jalen Suggs' health is something that, you need to keep an eye out for. Wendell Carter Jr. is going to be okay. They added Tyus Jones. That was a great pickup as well. Well, Wagner comes back from that torn ACL. They drafted Jace Richardson. Jonathan Isaac's still there. Anthony Black was very serviceable for them last year. I think he's going to step up and do his thing next year. I think the Magic issue probably maybe the bench. I don't know if we're going to get some consistency. Is Jet Howard going to step up? Noah Pinda, Orlando Robinson, Tristan Da Silva, Gogo Batate. Like, there is, their bench isn't full of names or notable players. So that's the only thing I worry about with Orlando. Whereas last year, it was all Banchero and Wagner. The offense was created through those two. So it was either one or the other that was going to generate the offense. Now they can be recipients of the offense now. They can have plays run for them instead of them running the play for everybody else. I definitely trust them on the defensive end. Hey, Bain and Suggs are probably one of the best perimeter defender backcourts in the league. That's a great backcourt. I have Orlando being a 3 seed in the East, winning 48 games next year. Philadelphia 76ers are a team that troubles me because you got Joel Embiid, who's not going to be ready for the beginning of the season, so they're going to miss him. So I expect possibly, is Andre Drummond still on that team? If he is, he's definitely going to be the starter. And according to the roster, Drummond's still there. Adam Bona, too. Adam Bona could fill in for Embiid. He's not as talented as him, but he could play that traditional center role, rim protector, lob threat. Johnny Broom, I wonder if he gets any time because he was turning that shit out in Summer League. Then BJ Edgecombe, the rookie, he's going to cause some problems. Then you got veterans and Paul George, Eric Gordon, Kyle Lowry, go alongside Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain, Kelly Oubre. On paper, this is a good team, but Philly gonna learn. Philly gonna learn. They should have traded Joel Embiid and Paul George and gotten the most that they could get for them. Now they're stuck with both for years. So I hope y'all happy in Philly about this. But to me, I think it's just too many injuries. And I'm going to pick the Sixers to win 41 games and be in the play in as a 9 seed. But yeah, I don't trust Philly. Now, the Phoenix Suns are going to be a very interesting team. They're going to look different with the absence of Kevin Durant. I think Devin Booker still averages around 20. I think I say he averages about 26 and 8. Although I think Devin Booker's a little bit overrated. That's just my opinion. He's a defensive liability for sure. And I think that plays a role. I mean, adding Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green, that could help them a lot. If Rasheer Fleming and Nigel Hayes get clock, I think that's going to help. They got a great center rotation in Richards, Williams, and Malawach. Then Ryan Dunn is there. Grayson Allen's still there. But this Phoenix team, they like that. But, however, in the crowded Western Conference, I got the Suns winning 39 games and losing to the Sacramento Kings by 0.5 games for that final play-in spot. I think the Suns are going to be competitive, but I think they missed the playoffs for the second straight season in a row. Sacramento Kings talent alone is good enough for them to make the play-in. I see they're pursuing Jonathan Kuminga. I don't know if they get what they want with that, but we'll see. DeRozan and Levine can only get you so far. But again, man, this team, weakness is defense. This team are not defensive players. Keegan Murray's pretty good at defense. He surprised me last year. But yeah, I think they're going to be defensive liabilities. They're going to put up good numbers like Levine, Sabonis, and DeRozan are going to put up a lot of points. But they run into a team that's defensive and that could score, they could be in trouble. That's all over the West. So I have them winning 39 games and getting the final play-in spot. Now, whether they make it out or not, it is what it is. And oh yeah, by the way, I do have a playlist called 2026 NBA Season Preview that's located on my channel. Then I also have the record predictions for all 30 teams. San Antonio Spurs, they improve, and I think they make the play-in this year. I mean, them drafting Dylan Harper, who is, he's going to be out possibly the first game of the season. But after that, him and De'Aaron Fox would be a good backcourt. I mean, I love Stephon Castle. Keldon Johnson, Luke Cornett was a great pickup. I think Cornett should start at center and Wemby should play the 4. They could be the new Twin Towers. But yeah, I think that the Spurs improve. I mean, they lost Chris Paul, but I think it's time for De'Aaron Fox to deliver. Get you 24, 6, and 9. But yeah, man, I don't know if David Jones Garcia is gonna get any clock, but he was turning shit out in that summer league, and Carter Bryant was too. Devin Vassell, I forgot about him. He can score. The San Antonio team is not weak. I said the Spurs would win 40 games and be a 9 seed in the play-in. The Toronto Raptors, I have very low expectations for them. I had said that they would win 27 games. A lot of people got pissed off about that. You know what I'm saying? I understand that you added Brandon Ingram, but again, how many games is he going to play? Will he play more than 60 games? I have doubts in my mind that he plays more than 60 games. I don't see it. I say he play about 55 to 60 games. He's injury prone. That's what the fuck he is. He's injury prone. This Raptors roster that's around those guys, I don't think they can contribute enough to even make the play in. But the Raptors aren't going to do shit next year. I have no hope for this team, even with Ingram. I mean, Grady's good. He got some game. Jakob Pertl, he can play. David Roddy, he can play. Yeah, but I don't have no hope for Toronto. I got them winning 27 games. Now, the Utah Jazz, what do I always say? The Utah Jazz will always be the Utah ass. I don't have many hopes for them either. I think they're going to be the worst team in the West, winning 25 games. I mean, Laurie Marketing is just going to shot Jack and pad her stats and her numbers. Pad his stats and his numbers, my bad. Laurie Marketing was playing in that Euro League like he was Larry Bird. He does not do that shit in real life. But, Utah sucks. It's just bottom line. And it sucks that they're in the West. If they were in the East, they would have a shot at the play in. Because I like this team on paper. I mean, they have a good youth movement. Them drafting Ace Bailey and Walter Clayton Jr. does help that team. Seems like Kyle Anderson is going to stay. Taylor Hendricks is coming off that broken leg that he suffered. Walker Kessler's still there. I think Kevin Love is there. I don't think he wants to stay. You added Yusuf Nurkic. You improved though. The Jazz did improve, but I just still think even with the veteran help, it's not going to matter. They're going to be the worst team in the West. Last but totally not least, did I say everybody? Remember, I have a part one. This is why this video is part two. I'm sure I did. So, Washington Wizards are my sleeper team. They are definitely my sleeper team. I got them winning 38 games and getting the last play-in spot because they made significant improvements that the Utah Jazz couldn't make. I mean, I seen that Bilal Koulibaly is going to miss some time with his injury, so he's going to miss a little bit of the season. Washington's going to be underrated. I mean, the addition of C.J. McCollum and Chris Middleton, if they would have kept Marcus Smart, I would have had more stock into them, but I guess not. I mean, they did add Dylan Jones and Cam Whitmore. I love those pickups, and Whitmore's going to be a problem with them. Corey Kispert's going to improve. My only issue is lacking of depth at center. You got possibly either Marvin Bagley or Alex Sarr playing the five this upcoming season. So I think that McCollum and Middleton's veteran leadership is going to catapult this team to the play-in. And I love the pickup of Trey Johnson. So again, I had the Washington Wizards winning 38 games, getting the final playing spot. But are you excited about the season? The NBA preseason begins on October the 2nd. I just wanted to give a live version of what I did on my playlist. So thank you for checking out the live. I'm sorry if I dozed off a couple of times in this video, but I'm going to get the fuck out of here and take my black ass to bed, bro. King known NBA Music Talk. I'm out.